So this topic has been coming up a lot where I'm seeing people can't maintain changes or desires, such as they want to meditate, but they can't meditate. They started some healthy money habits, but they can't maintain that. Or they're feeling really good in their creativity or the way their business is going, but then it just gets sabotaged or they sabotage it again. They have these changes, they have these desires, but they can't seem to maintain it. They can't seem to hold it. And why is that? What I believe is the first step to maintaining and holding any change or desire in your life is checking in with your nervous system. The reason you can't sustain these changes or these desires, when you see glimpses of things changing in your life, in your body, in your money, in your marriage, the minute that it seems like things are coming in and you kind of shut down, or subconsciously you shut it down, the reason being is because your nervous system isn't trained to hold it. Your nervous system is actually trained to operate in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. In other words, you're trained to operate and create your life and business and money, relationships through stress mode. That is what you've been used to up until this point. And the reason, the moment, and this has happened to me, where something happens easily, and we might say, oh, it doesn't last forever, it's actually because you're so trained in operating and creating through fight or flight mode. Fight has been my stress response in the past. And so when things do come in easily, when you do experience glimpses of your desire manifesting, whether it's money or clients or business going your way, whatever it is, what happens when it does come in, what we do is our nervous system, we shut it down because our nervous system doesn't feel safe in it. Rest, ease, and flow doesn't feel safe. Doesn't feel sustainable. So what we do is that when things do come in easily, when we are in rest mode, when we are healing, when we are in that easeful mode and things do start kind of coming in and we soften up and we open up the pipes, I say, or the hose, we don't have that kink in the hose, we loosen and that tension and that tightness, and we really truly relax, and we start seeing things come in. That poses as a threat. That poses as, oh, it's not safe. You didn't work hard enough. You need to work more. You need to get back up. Easy is not good. People are going to judge you. And all those thoughts come spiraling in. And literally that's what it does. It spirals. Your mind then goes into survival mode of like, oh, we got to fight. We got to flight. We got to freeze. We got to fawn. Whatever your stress response is. And your brain goes into that. Your body kicks into gear to survive because there's a threat. It doesn't feel safe to receive. It doesn't feel safe to sit in this meditation. It doesn't feel safe to maintain this new habit you're doing with your money or your life. One of my clients in my Portal to Overflow Mastermind mentioned, I really sit to and be in that place of trusting and surrendering and being ease and allowing it to come. But then I can't help but get back into kicking into gear and just doing all the things that I have done to make things happen. And automatically I was like, because your system doesn't feel safe in rest and digest zone. It doesn't feel safe to be in this rest and healing mode. It just doesn't. So it's like putting your foot on the accelerator in your car, and you're in this fast speeding car and you're pressing your foot on this accelerator, and then all of a sudden you slam the brakes. What happens when you slam the brakes suddenly? Chances are you're going to skid, you're going to spin out of control, and havoc occurs, right? And that's the same thing what happens in our minds and in our bodies when we're on that high speed, in that high speed car with our foot on the accelerator, which means you're in fight or flight mode, you're in stress mode, you're operating and you're creating that way through your life. That feels normal. These high cortisol levels just feel normal. That's how you create that. If you were to all of a sudden go, oh, let me just sit down and meditate and rest and trust and surrender, you're going to spin out of control. It may last like a couple of seconds, a few minutes if you're lucky, but it doesn't feel safe. You're going to spin. The thoughts will come. Your body's going to wake up. It's good. All of that, right? Your body's just going to, the cortisol will just spike. It's calling you to stand up and protect yourself. And so you want to check into your nervous system. One of the first steps, and I see as a embodied manifestation coach, is that we need to be embodied. And part of that in manifestation, to have sustainable manifestations in our money, in our business, in life in general, and sustain not even just those outcomes. It's really not about the outcomes, people. It's about who we are being. Who we are being. That's why we want what we want, is because we think we're going to feel good in the having of it. We're going to feel happier, more peaceful, more satisfaction when we have it. But in fact, it's who we are becoming in this process is what we're truly desiring. So what you are truly desiring is to return back to yourself, is to be at peace, in flow, in ease, in restoration mode. So you need to train your nervous system back into that. And you can't just set these unrealistic expectations to sit down and meditate every day for 20 minutes or an hour, although it still could be helpful. I'm not saying these things don't work, but I'm saying you need to be more gradual and gracious with yourself. And number one, that's becoming aware of what is your stress mode. What is your stress response? How have you been operating? How have you been creating up until this point? Is it go after your goals by fighting your way through or flighting your way through? Or do you freeze at the thought of doing the things you need to do for your business or money or whatever the thing may be that you are desiring? What has been your stress response? How do you create? What has been your mode of creation to this point? And if you are desiring that ease, that flow, that sustainability, where things are not that hard, you can be that person where things can come in effortlessly. And I believe all of us have some glimpses of our manifestations or being ourselves, feeling truly ourselves. And that's only been happening, that we've have all experiences of it coming when we are relaxed, when we are in the relaxed state. When we are in the restful state. And if you want more ease and flow and peace in your life, if you want things to not be so hard, if you want things to be sustainable in your business, in your life, in your creativity, in your marriage, and it not just be glimpses of time, you need to start training your nervous system to support that. And that's what we do in my mastermind Portal to Overflow. One of the very first things that we do is start healing and regulating the nervous system. I literally just uploaded a module that you can jump right into with all of the tools and what I did to start healing and regulating my nervous system, so that you can start taking your foot off of the accelerator and slowly onto the brake, but then move yourself in a space where then you have true control and power over when you're going to accelerate and when you're going to be on the brake. Because yes, your stress response is there for a reason, to protect you, for survival. But that is not how you're meant to live. You're not supposed to live like your life and your desires are a threat. You're here to live, to enjoy life, to receive, to be who you truly be. And that only comes through when you are in that rest, digest, healing, easeful mode. So you need to start training your body and your nervous system so that you can be that, hold that, and sustain that. And that's what we do in my mastermind Portal to Overflow. We go through all the things where you are retraining your being, retraining your system so that you can have and hold all the things in your money, in your business, in your life, in your relationships, and your health. We are starting off with the nervous system regulation module, and then all of the other things that we're tapping into, that we are not just tapping into, we're going deep on, is how do you shift out of the old self to the new self? This is for the woman who's been doing the work. This is not just the beginner woman in her healing and personal development and spirituality. You've been doing the work, but you're ready to sustain this and hold it and go to the next level where you're not someone where you're just fumbling through life or fumbling through your desires. You want to have it and hold it and sustain it. The money, the clients, the business, your career, love, your family, your marriage, everything. Have it, hold it all. And you can have it all, and you can sustain it, and you can hold it without it being a struggle, without it always being a fight. You can choose ease. Struggle is not the requirement. Stress is not a requirement to creating. Ease and flow can be the requirement for you now, but you need to train your body to hold this. So if you're interested, I'll leave the details below, or feel free to direct message me if you want to jump into Portal to Overflow Mastermind. Love to have you there and support you through this beautiful journey. Thanks so much for listening.